Welcome to Learning Module 3 and the Phonatory System. In this video tutorial, you will get an overview of the larynx, its major functions, and its location in the body. Let's get right to it. The main structure of the phonatory system for speech production is the larynx. Pause the video and say it with me. Larynx. Note that the correct pronunciation is larynx, not larynx. The larynx is a structure located in your throat that separates the lower airway, below, from the upper airway, above. Inside the larynx are our two true vocal folds, also known as the vocal cords, that vibrate to produce the source for voiced speech sounds. The larynx is made up mostly of cartilages and muscles. You may be wondering, where exactly is the larynx? Well, let's explore that. The larynx is located in the anterior portion of the neck. It is anterior to the esophagus and anterior to cervical vertebrae 4 through 6. The larynx is located superior to the trachea and inferior to the oral and nasal cavities. Next, let's watch a short video clip of a modified barium swallow X-ray procedure. Watch the anterior portion of the neck closely to see if you can spot the larynx as it moves during swallowing.
This is a video of a modified barium swallow, a useful X-ray procedure to evaluate how a person is swallowing. Let me orient you to what you're looking at first. You notice that this is a person's head from a lateral view. Towards the front or the anterior side, you have the jaw, the roof of the mouth. As we go backwards, you see the cervical spine, or the spinal column in your neck. And counting from the top, you have C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, and C6. C7, the seventh cervical vertebrae, would be just below that. C4, 5, and 6, remember, are posterior to the larynx. So if we come anterior from C4, 5, and 6, this area here in the front is the larynx. Two structures you want to notice. Darker right here is the only free-floating bone in the body. That's the hyoid bone. You'll be learning about that. And this softer tissue down here, made up mostly of cartilage and muscle, is the larynx. As you watch this swallow, notice how this gray tissue right here will move upward and forward during the swallow. Here we go.
Here the events of swallowing in Figure 1 will come to life, first in slow motion and then in real time. The movie that follows is of a young male swallowing thin liquid.
Watch here, this again is our larynx, as this person swallows some water now.
The second swallow in the series is Figure 1. Please note the efficiency of timing and the coordination of normal swallowing movements.
Now that you know where the larynx is located, let's mention the three major functions of the larynx in the phonatory system. The true vocal folds within the larynx can either be open or closed, as shown in the two pictures at the bottom of this slide. First, the larynx helps with protecting the airway during and after swallowing by closing off the lower airway and moving out of the way during swallowing. Second, the larynx creates the source for speech production for voiced sounds as air passes through the true vocal folds. Third, the larynx helps us to build up abdominal pressure, which provides support to our body when we need to do heavy lifting or pushing, as well as when we need abdominal fixation for things like defecation or childbirth, when you need to bear down. Let's talk quickly about abdominal fixation. Recall that the diaphragm muscle separates the thorax above from the abdomen below. The abdomen contains organs like the liver, stomach, and intestines, which are easily shifted around. The thorax contains the lungs and heart, among other organs, and can also be moved around. Let's say you want to expand the lungs. The diaphragm will push the contents of the abdomen downward to do this. On the other hand, let's say you want to bear down. We do this by abdominal fixation. Take a deep breath to fill your lungs. Now, close your vocal folds. In other words, hold your breath. Now, when you squeeze your abdominal muscles, the thorax will not move, so the only thing that can happen is for the contents of the abdominal cavity to squeeze. This allows you to push as you bear down. Interestingly, someone with vocal fold paralysis will not be able to close off the larynx to allow this to happen. On that note, you're ready to go on to the next tutorial to start learning about the structures of the larynx.